Welcome to Second Listen Saturday on the Parenting Roundabout podcast, where we share some fun moments from a past episode for your weekend listening pleasure. Look for new episodes every Monday through Friday.
We thought we would ask each other, do you get out much? Or has the internet, or maybe I should specify podcasting, replaced going out and being with people? Terry.
I mean, seriously, I talk to you guys more than I talk to anybody else in my real life. So you're my best friends.
Except for the ones that live in your house, right?
Yes. Present company accepted. But I really don't get out much. I don't get out pretty much at all. Every now and then, no more than every now and then, 2 or 3 times a month, my friend will come out on a Saturday and we'll go out and get coffee, and she and her husband will stay the day. That's about the extent of my social life. And if they get busy or she hurt her foot recently and wasn't able to come out, that's, then I go back to my hermit-like ways. But anytime.
And you have 2 parties a year.
I have 2 parties a year. Yes, this is how my husband and I maintain a social life. So we have 2 parties a year, so people at least see us twice a year. And it also makes sure that our house gets cleaned twice a year also, which is important.
Yeah.
And we've gone to a few parties recently, and I went to a wake. That's not gonna happen.
Oh my God.
But you're fitting that in your social life, although I guess the older we get.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not quite at the place where that's a major part of my social life, but I did see and talk to people. I really feel like I should get out more. I should do more things, but when the time comes and it's a choice between should I work for 2 hours and then maybe be able to sleep tonight, or should I go out and do something and then come home and still have all this work sitting waiting for me? It's a hard decision. I'm not the most outgoing person in the world. I'm kind of a homebody anyway. I don't need a whole lot of push to not go someplace. So now I have work as an excuse, and I cling to it. But I did go to community band practice the other night. I was very proud of myself after having skipped the entire fall season and the first few practices of this year. We'll see if I go next week.
Stay tuned, everyone.
Yeah, it's bad.
How about you, Nicole? Are you a goer, outer?
Yeah, I've always had a tendency to want to be going out and about and not being at home. I think it's just more the connection with people. So now that there's the internet and podcasting, my cup is full at home, and I don't do as much socializing as I used to. So, although I find maybe once or twice a week I'll go out and have lunch or coffee with a friend. And then maybe once a month we'll have dinner out with some friends. But, not to the level I used to be, that's for sure. I'm content to have friends online and virtual friends, texting friends. I'm content to do that.
Yeah. The internet has certainly made it easy to have the illusion of friendship.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Kind of a mix.
Yeah.
Catherine, I feel like you get out more than us.
Yes. Book club.
I don't know. Well, there's book club once a month and like a dinner club once a month, where it's like a group of couples and we have a dinner party at one person's house roughly once a month, and the host provides the main dish and everyone else brings other things.
Oh, that's so fun.
It's nice. It's a good way to do dinner parties, because when it's at your house, you're not doing all the work. You're only doing, you're cleaning and you're cooking one major thing. But then other people are bringing everything else. Yeah. So it's kind of nice. But other than that, like, my husband and I are really terrible about going out with each other. And because he's becoming more and more hermitous in his in his old age or something. I don't know. It's a word now, I guess. He he's really content to stay home, and I'm less content to stay home. But it's hard I also don't like just going without him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's challenging sometimes. But, like right now I'm on a skating trip, so there's always a big social element to that because, you're on the bus for many hours. So you may be chit-chatting with your seatmate on the bus for a long time. And then a lot of times the parents share meals while the kids are off doing things where they're practicing, or sometimes they have a team meal where the parents aren't invited. So it's rather social, actually. If you maybe can hear like children in the hallway making noise.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. When your kids are in school, sometimes there's a social outlet for that. Yeah. I mean, you don't want your whole social life to be through your kids. But I mean, I went to band meetings all the time when my daughter was in high school. That was a big deal, and trips and football games, and we'd get out and talk to a lot of people. And there were people I considered myself friends with that once our kids weren't in the same school thing, I've never talked to them again. But So I do kind of miss. In a way, I kind of miss that social outlet, and in a way, I'm really glad I don't have to deal with it all again, because I don't know where I would find the time or the energy.
Yeah, just recently, actually, on Facebook, some friends and I were having a discussion, and first of all, it sprang from something about vaccines. So if you can believe it, it was totally civil and respectful.
It's hard to believe.
It was amazing. And at one point someone said, "Oh, I wish I was going to see you all on the playground," because we were all moms that had kids in elementary school together. And we used to, when we went to pick up our kids after school, we would let them play, and we would stand around and talk. And obviously we don't get to do that anymore. And we all miss it. So we said, "Do you think there's any way we could have lunch?" So we're going to try to schedule lunch, but we'll see how that goes. Yeah. So I don't know. Do you think it's important to have that social life outside of your family? Do you think your kids kind of need to see that? Have like almost like role modeling that for your kids?
Yeah, I think that is a good thing. I think you should do that. I think it's important to see adults having a life, but I sure have not been doing it. It's like, do as I say, not as I do, children.
Not as I do.
But
no, I think it's good for them to see how see how a friendship is maintained, and how the workings of friendships, the ins and outs of it, and ups and downs. I don't know.
I was just thinking, when I was a kid, my parents were very social. And maybe it was just the time. Maybe it was just, it was in the 60s. They had a square dance group that they belonged to, and they went and did that on a regular basis, and they had friends from that, and then they had bridge groups that they participated in, and then they had this group of friends that lived in the town we used to live in, and we would go see them all the time, and they were all aunts and uncles. I called them all aunts and uncles, but that was a regular group of people. They were really and then my mom had her own groups through church and stuff like that. So I had that modeled for me, and whether it's just we live in a different sort of time now, or I'm just not that kind of person. I have confidence issues. I don't know. There's been times in my life where I've been that way, but I'm perfectly comfortable sitting home not doing that. So I do kind of wonder whether the practice of adults having their own things to do has kind of fallen away. Do you guys feel like that?
Yeah. Well, it's like you said, you're so busy doing the things that stem from what your kids are doing.
Yeah.
Where our parents didn't do that.
Yeah. Do you ever go play cards with a group of people? Or, does anybody square dance anymore, or ballroom dancing or anything? I don't think any of those things even exist. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it's different.
Yeah. I don't know. I think maybe because of the weather and the population, there's a lot of groups here for adults. Like I feel like there's lots of different things if you had an interest
Yeah.
to join it. But I don't know. I don't know what it is. I feel I'm much more content with myself and being at home than having to go out and seek those things out. But my parents were so social. They were always out. They were out all the time, or we had friends over, or.
And I also wonder, like, you know, when my kids were really little and I would need a babysitter, I always hated dealing with that, like finding the babysitter, scheduling the babysitter, organizing the babysitter. Oh, let's just stay home. And I wonder if it just kind of like got turned into like a rut that I'm currently in. You know, like they don't need a babysitter anymore, but that became like just the status quo.
Although I am finding now that my son, he lives away from home, and my daughter is now driving, like I have larger chunks of time to myself.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that out loud, so I don't want to hear that. And I think that might get to a point where I might become more social because I do have more time. I think a lot of the restriction is in, you know, you're busy running your kids here and there, and you've got dinner, and then you work, and like there's just a whole, and, you know, people commute far for their jobs.
That's true. But Nicole, now that you have all this time to socialize, you have no wheels. How are you going to get there?
Exactly.
You have to find a friend to pick you up.
Yeah, your friend has to come and get you.
I know, right? Yeah, that's my other constraint. Or
there's always something.
Yeah. You know, I'll figure it out. I have to do a car share thing.
What about do your spouses have anything that they do on their own? Do they have any social thing? My husband does not.
No, mine
actively
does
discourages any potential for us having anything like that.
Mine does the dinner thing.
Well, that's nice.
But that's it.
Yeah. Actually, mine does. You know what? Actually, he probably has more of a social life than I do because he walks 3 times a week with 2 of his friends, and they walk in the morning. They get up, and they meet at 6 a.m. and walk for an hour. Wow. 3 times a week they do that.
That's cool.
I know.
What a little social butterfly he is.
I know. I'd like 6 a.m. though. I don't think I would get up for a friend at 6 a.m.
Have you ever walked with him, Nicole?
Never. It's a guy.
Not at 6 a.m.
You're sure they're walking that whole time? They're not stopping off somewhere?
They tell me that they're walking. I don't know. He tells me that they're walking. I know. I would not walk with. I don't know. No.
There's probably no bars open at that time, so it's probably safe.
Exactly.
They're stopping off at Starbucks for a while. Eating pastries.
Yeah.